the sexiest men's fragrances for winter. So now that it's pretty much midwinter, it's pretty cold by now, there are a few fragrances for men that I think are pretty good in terms of being solid, warm, and very attractive choices. And as always, all the fragrances that I mentioned will be available in the Amazon associate links in the description below. I'm going to start with a classic, which, I mean, everyone knows about this one by now, Valentino WMA. This is a kind of a go-to option for a warm, masculine scent. It has some coffee, it has some leather, mixed with some bergamot notes. Pretty much just a warm, earthy, and very, very attractive type of fragrance. Whenever I smell this, I'm like, this is a really, really good fragrance. You can't go wrong with this. I haven't come across anyone who really, really dislikes this. It's one of those fragrances that's kind of designed to be as likable and as attractive as possible. So chances are when you wear this, 99% of the population is really gonna like the smell of it. So again, you cannot go wrong with it unless you just come across a person with strange nostrils and they just don't like the smell of it. But in general, it's a really well-performing fragrance. Besides just smelling good, it's gonna last a long time. I would say 7 to 8 hours. And in general, just kind of a sophisticated, well-put-together fragrance from Valentino, so you know it's going to be a high-quality option. Now, besides this, because the main problem here is that it is kind of on the popular side, a little bit oversaturated, not entirely unique. So if you want to go for something that stands out a little bit more, then I would say Layton from Perm The Mali. This is a really nice niche option. Pretty much spicy sweet, and has a nice cardamom note thrown in there. Some people find it a little bit too sweet. I don't think it's too sweet for men. I think it's pretty nicely balanced with the spice notes that it has, but the nice thing about it, it's very, very strong. You know, this size bottle, could probably last you ages because you only need to put on a few little sprays and you're good to go. It has that really potent projection, so you just need a few little sprays, it'll go forever. And just in general, it's one of those reliable, unique types of fragrances that will just, you know, carry you through for many years. And of course, being from Perm The Mali, it's just, you know, superbly made, very well crafted, very high quality. This is, again, one of those fragrances you can't really go too wrong with. Unless you're, you know, maybe you're not a fan of certain sweet notes, even though this really isn't that sweet. If you just want to stay clear of sweetness in general, maybe stay clear of this one as well. But in general, it's really well balanced, really strong, and just really good for the winter because it does have that nice warmth to it because of the spice notes that it has. Now, besides this one, I would also say another good option is Ambre Soutin, or Ambre Soutin, from Serge Soutin, which is pure resin. This is as pure resin as you could possibly get without just buying a resin. This is ambery. This is has some myrrh in it. It has various other resins, and it's just really exotic smelling. It's very heavy, very warm, very toasty, and very smoky. So this is not for the faint of heart. This is for those who want a really intense, really resinous, firm type of fragrance, because this goes all out with those resinous notes that it has. It is super attractive for the cold weather, especially. It just cuts through the cold, no problem. And it's also good for the evening, you know, for the same reasons. It's really, really strong. Great projection, great longevity. And it just smells unique because, like I said, the majority of the notes in here are all resins, and there's not that many fragrances that dare to do that. So when you do wear this, you know, it's going to be pretty dry, pretty strong, so just be aware of that. Definitely you will stand out from the crowd when you wear this because it just smells so different from everything else. And it's more on the sidelines, you know. Not too many people know about this one compared to the mainstream options, So definitely a very, very unique choice here, especially if you want to go for something more smoky, more resinous, and really not sweet at all. There's no sweetness in here. Then, one of my personal favorites that I always enjoy smelling is Dior Intense. I'm pretty much a fan of all the Dior but this one's my favorite because it's just really, really nice. It has an iris note, which I think is just amazing, and it has some muskmallow as well to balance it out, but the iris gives it a nice cold crispness with a little bit of sweetness. Then you got the muskier notes and, you know, the heavier, more masculine notes to balance it out. And overall, it's just a really, really attractive men's scent that is really warm, even though some of the notes are actually pretty light and fresh. Overall, it's pretty warm, which makes it really nice for winter. At the same time, it's heavy without being too heavy, and it's just nicely balanced. Again, it has all the notes, are all in the right places to really keep it balanced, to keep it very attractive and pretty much universally likable. This is one of those fragrances that's pretty much liked by everybody all the time. I haven't heard of anybody who dislikes this particular version of Dior So it's just one of those really reliable types of fragrances that you can't really go wrong with, no matter how you wear it. So tried and true option here. Now, another one that I have that I think is a really nice option, which is Creed Green Irish Tweed. This is a very classic scent from the 80s. Now, when you first smell it, it's actually pretty light and fresh. So you might be thinking, oh, why is this for winter? You know, usually winter fragrances are pretty warm. This becomes warmer after a little bit because the opening is mainly lemon, verbena, and some violet, but you give it a little bit, the base notes are ambergris and sandalwood. So it actually becomes very warm and actually pretty musky the longer you wear it, which I think is really nice. This is best for those who don't want to go too crazy heavy with their fragrances. Maybe you want something a little bit more subtle but still warm, just not too warm or like suffocating. This is a really nice option because again, it balances those really light, crisp notes like the lemon verbena, then balances it out with the heavy ambergris and the heavy sandalwood and that sort of thing. So overall, it's super balanced, and being from Creed, it is a very high quality fragrance as well. So overall, this is like a 10 out of 10 fragrance, super classic, super elegant as well. This is definitely one of those fragrances to wear to like a special occasion, like a date or an anniversary or something like that, or you're going somewhere, you know, very particular. But overall, that is pretty much what I have to say about super attractive men's fragrances for winter. So hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, of course, leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.